All right, guys. So if you want to make web pages, sales pages, capture pages, webinar registration pages, all that kind of stuff that look really, really good and give you a lot more flexibility and a lot more customization, then my recommendation is that you either check out Optimize Press or you check out ClickFunnels, which I've done a separate video on for you as well. And there are advantages and disadvantages to each one. Optimize Press is a WordPress plugin. Okay, so that means you have to have a WordPress website already hosted on. So you have to have your own hosting, or you got like a like a GoDaddy website where you're getting all your stuff hosted. That's the downside to Optimize Press. Whereas with ClickFunnels, it's just automatically hosted for you. You don't have to pay any additional hosting fees. The other downside with Optimize Press is you do have to be a little bit more technical to get things set up. And if anything happens to your site, you have really complete responsibility for getting that fixed. My website was hacked a while back. And it was a real pain in the neck to get all of that fixed because I do build some of my pages in Optimize Press. So there's definitely some downsides, but there are some upsides as well. One of the upsides is that it's just a one-time fee versus with ClickFunnels, there is a monthly subscription fee. So with Optimize Press, and I have an affiliate link for Optimize Press. I'll put that below here. I think it's, I don't know, a couple $100 or something to get a license to use on unlimited sites. And then what you're going to want to do after you get it. Oh, the other thing I should mention though is that if you want like really cool templates with Optimize Press, you really need to get a membership to the marketplace, which I think they call it what do they call it? It's called the Clubhouse. And if I go in here, like if you want access to all of these like really cool templates in the Clubhouse, you have to pay for you do have to pay a membership. So with ClickFunnels, it comes already, your membership that you're paying already comes with those templates. If all you do is buy the software for Optimize Press, you get a couple of basic templates, but you don't get any of the like really cool ones that are all listed inside of here. So I'm going to show you now, if you do want to use Optimize Press, now that I've told you the pros and cons, if you don't want to mess with the hassle of it, then you can skip this video and go watch the one on ClickFunnels, because it will do everything that you can in Optimize Press and then some, and you don't really have to be a technical wizard at all to use ClickFunnels. But if you want to use Optimize Press, I do use it. And here, first of all, you're going to want to install it as a theme. I'm not going to go into the tech details on how to do that. If you're familiar with WordPress, you can upload it and install it as a theme. Once you've done that, the other thing to keep in mind is that if you already have a WordPress website, it's going to overwrite whatever theme you already have installed on that site. So you'd either want to set up a brand new one or pick something where you're okay to completely get rid of whatever theme you previously had on your website. All right. Now, to build a page, we're going to go here to Optimize Press Page Builder. When you get here, we're going to give the page a name. I'll call this Demo Sales Page. Delete later. And it will also give you, this is your slug. Whenever somebody actually goes to the URL, this is what they'll see in their address bar. This is just for your reference. It automatically creates the slug, but you can change it if you want it to. So if I didn't want it to say delete later, I could have my name in my page area to say delete later, whereas what they see in the URL could say something completely different. Then I can come down here. I can start with a blank page. You can use a content template. It does come with a few basic templates. And then if you want any of these like really cool ones, like the book landing page and some of the webinar pages, that would require a membership to the Clubhouse, which I do have. And or after you've created pages that you really like, you can save it as a preset. So I'm going to go ahead and just pick one of my saved presets for now. But I'll show you that you can delete anything. So I'm going to choose Simple Sales Page, which is a preset that I've already done, and I'll proceed to step 2. And what that'll do is it'll pull everything from my preset and put it into a page for me. All right, so you can actually already see what this page here looks like, okay? And I'll show you very quickly how you can add these elements back on your own. So in fact, let's go ahead and just get rid of a few of these things. I'll get rid of this here, and I'll get rid of the video. So as you can see, I'm starting with an absolute blank page inside of Optimize Press. You could add new rows. This is, I mean, it's so similar. What you do once you actually get up and running with Optimize Press, what you do inside of this and what you do inside of ClickFunnels are so very similar. It's just a little more automated and less techy there. So I can create a new row. And a new row is just going to be like if I wanted just one column or if I wanted two columns, and you can even split the column. So you've got a, like a 2/3 column on one side and it splits the page to a third on the other. I'm just, for this purposes of this one, we're going to say a one column, and you insert that into the page. And then you can change the properties of that column by coming into here and picking the background color. So if I wanted, a different color, say I wanted the background of my row to be, here we go, background color start. Let's say I wanted that to be red, background color end to be I don't know, like a lighter red, and then I say update. And so you can see I can change the rows. So maybe that's where I wanted my headline to be at. And then I can click this little plus sign here, and I could say headline. And then I can choose a standard headline, and then I can just put my awesome benefit-driven headline goes here. And then you can come down here and you can style it. So I can pick the size of my font, whatever I want it to be. So I come make it like really big. Let's make it like 55. Style, I don't know, we'll just pick that. And we'll say we want it to be white. And let's put a shadow, a dark shadow on it. And then I can just say insert. You can see that puts my headline up here. Does that make sense? So, and then let's say that I decided I didn't actually want that section. You can actually drag elements between rows. So I can create a new row by saying add row, one column, go down and say insert into page. And so now you can see I've got two columns. Two rows. I've got a row up here. Now I got a new row here, which I could change the properties if I wanted to. And I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this headline and I'm going to drag it. All I'm going to do is grab this little four corners, these four arrows here, and I'm going to drag it into my new row, into my row here. And I'm just going to get rid of this old row because let's say I just want a simple white page. I'm going to get rid of the red row, and obviously you can't read the white very well on white. So let's change the color of this to be like a blue, and let's go ahead and insert that into the page, right? So now I've got my headline, and then all I need to do to add new stuff is just say add element, and you've got all of these. You can scroll through to see everything. I mean, they've got everything from buttons to progress bars, and image text boxes and guarantees, and I mean all kinds of different things. And if you're not sure what you're looking for, you can just type in. So I'm going to type in video player, and I'm going to grab the video player and I'm going to click this. And then all you need to do is you can basically do it one of two ways. If you want it, you can choose YouTube, and you could put in the YouTube URL and control the autoplay and the hide controls off from here. Or if you wanted to actually put an embed code. So since I did YouTube on a different video, let me do something like Vimeo or Wistia. Those are both other paid hosting services. Since you're paying for them, you're not in any danger of getting those accounts shut down, which is one of the upsides. Of course, the downside is you got to pay for it. So let's say that I wanted to use, let's say I wanted to use this video right here, and I'll just grab this. So I can click on this video, and I can choose settings, and I can click embed. Okay, and I could choose what I want my embed settings to be. So let's say that I didn't want any of this stuff to show up. I can choose, to get rid of, I can get rid of all of the like button and all the kinds of stuff. I can choose whether I want it to play automatic. Actually, that happens on a different page. I can say whether I want it to show the play bar. So you can see that this play bar here goes and comes. The volume control, whether it's on or off. You got all of these options, the full screen, and so forth. So I'm going to go ahead and choose that and say save. And now what I'm going to do is go back to my video, that same video, and I'm going to click this little embed button, this thing that says share on the video. I click that, And what I do is I choose my options. So I pick how big let's say I want that video to be 800 pixels wide. It automatically puts in the height based on the ratio. I can choose whether I want this video to autoplay. I do, and show the link under the video. We don't have to worry about that. So I'll say no. And then all I need to do is copy this text here. This is what's called the embed code. We copy it, and we come back over here into our optimized press, and it just says embed code. We use the very fancy and very technical copy and paste method where we paste it in. And then the only other thing I really got to do here is just where it says 800 by 451 is change my video player to 800 by 451. And you could put a border around it. Let's say I wanted my video to have a, I don't know, a big black border around it. I could choose a black border and say I wanted it to be like a, I don't know, let's say a 10 pixel border, and I can say insert, okay? And now that ended up putting it above my headline, which we don't want. We want the headline to be the first thing they see. So all I got to do is grab these 4 arrows and just drag it and drop it up here, okay? I'm going to actually preview my page. So what you'll want to do when you're ready to publish and preview, and then I'll put the button in a minute and show you how that's done. You want to, right here where it says draft, change that to publish, and we're going to go ahead and say save and close for now, okay? That actually closes the page and it saves it down, and where you find these pages is right here inside of Pages, All Pages. And it starts by organizing them by alphabetically, so you can either search for the one you just created, or you could do it by date. I'm going to click date, and right up here at the top is Demo Sales Page, the one I just created, and right here is the View button. I can simply click on View, and that pulls it up. Right, and my video started to autoplay. If for some reason I didn't want this play bar, what if I just wanted a totally blank video? All I'd have to do, I actually don't even have to repaste the embed code. All I got to do is go back over to Vimeo, choose settings, and this is kind of cool. One of the cool things about using something like Vimeo or Wistia is that you actually control the look of your video throughout all websites that it might be hosted on. So let's say I didn't want a full screen button, I didn't want a play bar, I don't want a volume bar, I don't want anything. I just want a no controls video so that they just have to watch it. And now you'll notice if I go back over and I reload this page, this play button and the bar and the full screen button, those are all going to be gone even though I didn't change anything inside of Optimized Press. So let's reset. There we go. It just starts playing automatically without that, so the user has no controls. They can't fast forward to later on in the video. They're forced to watch the entire thing. Okay, so that's how you do that. And you notice it's got this big black border here, and I do not yet have my buttons down here. So let's go back in. There's a couple of ways you can get here while you're looking at the page. Actually, I'm just going to close this down, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say find the page, and I'm going to click Live Editor. So that pulls the page back up into the Optimized Press Live Editor, and all I need to do is click a new thing that I want to add. So I click this little button here to add a new element, and let's go ahead and put button, and it finds a button, and there's lots of there's pre-made styles. If you want to pick something with words already written in it, so for example I could select get access now and say where I wanted it to go, and say that I wanted to open it up in a new window, www.myproductorderpage.com. And you can even, well, I'll go ahead and say insert, and that'll put a pre-made button right inside of the page here. Okay, and you can, you've even got the ability, like if I don't like how close this headline is for some reason to my video, they've even got like spacers and stuff, so I can click spacing, vertical spacing, and I could say, you know what, I want a 20 pixel spacing between my video, and then all I got to do is take the spacer and drag it up here, and that would actually put a space in between my headline. So if I save this, you'll notice that a couple of things are now going to change when I preview my page. So now I've got, I got 2 buttons here, so sometimes it gets a little buggy, but I do have a little bit more of a space here between that, and so let's get rid of that. All right, and then you can choose to have this button slide in. You can do this very easily here in Optimized Press. If you're using ClickFunnels, it has the same functionality. We click right here on the Settings button, and we say on Delayed Fade In. Let's say I wanted this to show up at 10 seconds. I just say Update, and then I can save and continue. And now let's preview the page again. And now, so the video is going to start playing. And after 10 seconds, of course, let's wait a second here, my button should just automatically show up below the video, just like that. So that's if you want a pre-made button, but you've also got the ability, let's delete that button and let's show you two more things. If you want to create your own button that says, you know, whatever custom words you want it to say, then you just use Button Designer. And now here I can choose to have my button say, yes, give me instant access now. And I can choose how big I want that font to be. So let's make it a little bit bigger. I can say I want this to be, styling wise, I want it to be a really wide button. Let's say I want it to be like 86 pixels. For font, I can change what font I want. And I mean, you can change the color of the button. Basically, you could totally customize your button in here. I'm going to say insert. And that's a little bit big, so let's go in and very quickly edit that. And by the way I'm doing that is I'm clicking this little pencil button right here. That's the edit button. And we click right here, and let's change the width of this back down. Let's change the font so it's not quite so big either. Let's change it to about 50, and let's see how big that is. That's still a little bit too big. Let's bring it down a little bit more, maybe only about a 40 font. Insert. There we go, that looks a lot better. And then you might be wondering how I added those like checkout stuff. So there's a couple things that you could do here. So I mean, they've got like things that are already made for you, like guarantee boxes and so forth, that you could just add in. So if you wanted to add something below the video, you can either grab what's already here. I think what I did was I actually just uploaded my own image. I went out somewhere on online and I found an image that I really liked that had a secure like a padlock, and it had a 30-day money back, all the stuff I needed, and I just uploaded that image. And so what I can do is I can upload an image by clicking right here on where it says images. I'll just select this option right here, and then all I got to do is select my file, select image, select file. And if you don't already have it uploaded, you say select file and you upload it. I've already uploaded mine to my media library, so I click here on media library, and then I've got this secure checkout with guarantee and credit cards. That was the image that I already uploaded. So I'm going to grab that, and I'm going to go ahead and say full size at 914 pixels wide, insert into post right there. And then for my width, I leave it 914. Down here you can change some other things, whether you want it to be clickable. I don't in this instance want it to necessarily be clickable. I'm going to click insert and see how that looks. Looks good. And so I've got my page, and all I got to do is click save and close. Oh, one more thing. By the way, I said I didn't want that border around my the border in this case is a little big, so I can click on my video and I can go back in and edit that border, and we could say no border. And I think if you just leave this blank, it doesn't even matter what color you have here. Just to be sure, I'll put a weird, like a red color, and I don't think anything will show up. Now we just say save and close, and now we go here to demo sales page view and pull it up. There we go, and we've got a sales page. It looks great. So not real hard to build inside of OptimizePress. It's pretty easy once you get everything set up. It's a little technical to get OptimizePress installed. If you want access to all of their really cool templates, you got to pay for a membership to their Clubhouse. And then if anything goes wrong with your site, or if your hosting provider goes down, you're kind of at their mercy. With ClickFunnels, if you decide to go that route, it's less technical. You do have the issue that it's a monthly subscription fee, but you're going to pay a subscription fee to the templates in the Clubhouse anyway. And I think personally, I think ClickFunnels is a little bit more intuitive, and for the brand new person, that's what I recommend. But if you want a little bit more control, and you're a little more tech savvy, then Optimize Press is definitely a great way to go as well, and I use both of them. So anyway, hopefully this shows you exactly what you need to know for how to get your pages set up. Pick whichever solution is right for you. Whichever tool you choose to use is going to be fine. The main thing, guys, just remember, keep the main thing the main thing. Don't get too caught up in all the bells and whistles and the buttons. And I mean, yeah, it's great to have a good looking page, but a good looking page without a really good offer and a good message really doesn't do any good. Okay, you could have a pretty crappy looking page with a really compelling offer, and it's going to perform a whole lot better than a beautiful page that looks all fantastic with all these whiz-bang things and buttons and so forth, but your message is, mediocre or poor. Doesn't matter, really how good the page looks. So focus on creating a really good message, and then the tools that you use just kind of make your job a little bit easier depending on which one you choose. Hope that helps, guys. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.